Have you ever wondered about the hidden stories of the Red Guards and their victims? That's a tale filled with paradoxes, where the oppressors were often no older than their victims, and the lines between right and wrong were blurred in the chaos of revolution. Our story begins in the mid-60s, specifically 1966, during the onset of the Cultural Revolution in China. The Red Guards, predominantly made up of students, were the stormtroopers of this upheaval. They were armed with the conviction that they were the vanguard of a new age, the defenders of Chairman Mao's vision. Their victims, on the other hand, were often their elders. Teachers, artists, intellectuals, people who were seen as embodying the old order and thus a threat to the new China. These victims were subjected to brutal public shaming, physical abuse, and even execution. One such victim was a man whose punishment was bizarrely unique. He wasn't made to carry a wooden cross like others, but a burden much heavier and symbolic. His was a thick steel bar, a symbol of the industrial might that the new China aspired for. And the hat he wore wasn't made of bamboo frames, a common sight in these public shamings. His was made of steel bars, a crown of thorns reimagined through the lens of industrial revolution. The plaque around his neck wasn't wooden either. It was an iron door, taken from a laboratory oven. His name was written on the door in striking black characters, crossed out with 2 red diagonals in a large X, a stark symbol of his public denunciation. As we delve deeper into the history of the Red Guards, we see an irony that is both chilling and thought-provoking. These children, who were supposed to be the future of China, were instead turned into tools of destruction, used to dismantle the past and its bearers. And their victims, the intellectuals and educators, were the very people who could have helped build a brighter future. Instead, they were humiliated, tortured, and discarded, their potential contributions forever lost in the tide of revolution. In conclusion, the story of the Red Guards and their victims is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ideological fervor. It is a chapter of history that highlights the destructive potential of youthful energy when manipulated by those in power. It is a narrative punctuated by ironies: the children who became tormentors, the educators who became outcasts, and the cruel twist of punishments, where a man's shame was symbolized not by a wooden cross, but by the cold, unyielding steel of industrial progress. The Red Guards and their victims are a haunting testament to the dark side of revolution, a lesson from history that should never be forgotten.